All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the program. We are public today. Figured why not. Market is actually looking interesting. Um, we've been talking the past week kind of about a bunch of the cup and handles that have been put in crypto. We've seen some really good moves, a couple of drops, but really things, especially as of this morning, are looking, in my opinion, pretty darn good, excellent, if I might say. There are, all the cup and handles we identified that were looking a little down yesterday, kind of didn't go anywhere else, and some of them are up pretty big. So we're going to go into those when we look at the altcoins today, but we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at stocks later. The markets look generally pretty good as long as nothing nothing crazy happens. I think that we're in probably for some good times. Now, this is Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. So in the U.S., hey, what up, English? In the U.S., the markets are closed on Monday, and I think crypto may take advantage of that time to kind of move up before the stock market open. Now, that could be just a theory, and it is just a theory. But I mean, so far the markets have only been closed less than 20 hours, and we've got okay movement in the crypto market. There's a one of them was up like 56%, not in the top 20, but in my altcoins, and some other ones are already looking to move up. So I don't think you take that lightly. I think you run with it if you've been looking to trade in this environment. Now, in terms of what we've been doing in the Power Hour newsletter stuff, we've been looking at this as a potential follow through day. And if you're not familiar with the follow through day system, it derives from the IBD's follow through day system, and we've adopted it to crypto in a pretty good fashion. So that day was up like 4.65% around there, and 5% is our threshold. So I mean, we're really close. Yeah, maybe 4.5. Just I guess depend. You'd have to run the math. Don't really care to. It didn't quite hit the 5% threshold, but it definitely didn't do anything wrong. And that was one of the biggest volatility days that we'd had since this day, and the volume was much better on that day. Was a little bit of distribution towards the end of the day, which is kind of really what killed it. But since then, we haven't done anything wrong. We've been consolidating. We have higher highs now. We're generally able to stay above this high. In the newsletter, we talked about, and in some of the private subsequent power hours that we do, we talked about this consolidation, the general curl up here, and the breaking out. And it's been holding above pretty much every benchmark we've placed in front of it. And now you have a consolidation over, late Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which on the daily doesn't look like much of anything. Declining volume is a good volume signature. The VA tool looks really good. RSI is climbing, but in a decent spot. So I think crypto's in a spot where definitely we can start to see some moves. I don't think it's gonna be very vertical. It'd be great if it was, but I think we're gonna see some good moves. Now you're seeing some pretty vertical moves in the altcoins, especially in the lower market caps, which is usually different. Ideally, not really ideally, but generally, we would see the top 20 start to move, and then you'd see the alts start to move. Now somehow it's flipped. The alts are moving, and these top 20 aren't really doing too much. You got Hype up 2%, BNB up 1.5, which is looking excellent. AVAX up 2%, 2.8 for XLM. These are didn't make the cut. These are old ones we used to have that are no longer in the top 20. And look at them, they're all above 2%. That's USDT, that's USDC. But all of 2% were the top 20. I was struggling to find coins that are up 2%. So things have flipped on their head a little bit, and I'm not sure if it's good or bad, but it is what it is. Yeah, silver and gold are doing dramatically well. We will definitely look at those later. Um, I, yeah, they're doing amazing. But yeah, we'll dive into those. We'll get through the general power hour stuff first. We'll go through the top 20, go through the newsletter, and then we'll jump into stocks. So, but yeah, BTC right here, I don't think doing anything bad. I think good, sideways, little declining trend line. It's not the end all buy signal, but it's a nice little indicator that we've solidified some form of a bottom, ideally, and maybe we'll just go sideways through that. I think that's ideal. It's not something I would act upon. but it's a piece of information that starts to build a bullish picture. Let's move on to Ethereum, which also looks pretty good. A little bit more concise of a bull flag on Ethereum. The volume signature is not as good. The selling pressure, if you go back to BTC, you see the red days are smaller than these three pretty big green days. This is a pretty nice volume signature. Ethereum, a little bit worse. A little bit worse. This day was a red day instead of a green day. And then these two green days aren't as big. And then this red day is a little bigger. Hey, what's up, Aram? But Ethereum's still looking really good. We've been able to stay nice and tight. So we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, nice tight action here. Able to hold above this bullish candle, which got us up there to begin with. So I don't think there's anything wrong there. ETH is still working on this choppy area that I have in the orange. And, oh yeah, we are going to do orange, green, red boxes, weren't we? Yeah, we were. I remember that. So this one, BTC kind of has an orange box here. Oh, that's not the right chart. There you go. So there's an orange box. There's a distribution box. This is not a distribution box. This is just a square rectangle. But for a minute, I did them in green. What chart was it? I did it. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, green, red, and orange. Orange is possible flip. Green is bullish. Red is, oh yeah, I was going to keep it on this chart. That's what see, forgot about that, Aram. I forgot about that. I don't know why I just thought about that. So yeah, we had this as an orange as a potential flip, but that turned red. So then so now this is your orange. And are we looking at a reversal here? So in theory, we could arguably flip this and whatever this is going to do. So we're potentially in this little green flip-de-do. And if we go back and I thought this was pretty cool. When did we do this? I don't remember exactly when we did this, but this was I kind of like this. I thought this was pretty neat. Looks like I just flipped highlighted consolidations, it looks like, and then I went back a little bit. So this one could be green, so you can take the market, I think, in these moments. Something like that, and then you can go over here, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I do think it's a neat framework on how to look at things, actually, because we talked about the potential follow-through day the other day. Oops. There we go. We talked about the potential follow-through day, so right here. So, I mean, we have to at least be looking at green. Now, I put this over here because of this low, also kind of the breakout of this flat area, so maybe I need to be like a day over or something like that, maybe 2 days over. But you get the gist of it. The gist of it is maybe a flip. If we bring in the swing indicator, I'm not sure if that's a day or that's the day. Let's find out. 1 day prior, the swing indicator used that day. Oh, because it closed. Yeah, it's minor, which is why I put it over here, because it's so minor. I'm like really leaning into my monitor here. You can't see it, but so it must have closed above the high. What's the high? 90,606. Closed 90,595. No, it didn't. Oh, maybe it goes above the closes. I don't know. I have to double check on that, but unless it inferred one of these is the swing high. It inferred that is the swing high to overtake. Yeah, we're public, Aram. Okay, so that's the swing high that it took. So it put the signal there. So yeah, that's where our green box will be. What do you think about this, Aram? What do you think about this whole red, green, orange box thing? I like it. I think it's neat. Excuse me. Yeah, I thought the market was pretty bullish. I think it'd be good to go public a little bit. So we're in the kind of green phase here. It's always a little tentative until it's, obvious. So, and if you look over here, the last time we went green, we were, and actually we can probably bring the swing indicator here too. Of course, it's going to do that, which sucked. But so I have us green here, and that's probably a little arbitrary actually. They have us green there, which is probably better. So we'll form that as green, and that is red. Okay. Yeah, I like this whole little green thing. I think this is interesting to think of the markets in this regard. So you have the fall, you have the consolidation, which can go either way, which is why this one was orange and it was smaller. So I'll try to, this is the second Bitcoin chart. I have multiple Bitcoin charts here. I usually don't go into the Bitcoin charts, the multiple Bitcoin charts, but I do think, having different looks could be valuable. So, all right, so we're in the green section. Looks like we're pulling back a little bit here. Real time. Bit of a shame. It doesn't look as bad here on the index charts for Bitcoin. Index charts are the derivative of TradingView, where they kind of add all these other charts together. And I like to use that chart. We've been using that now for a couple of years. All right, so Bitcoin doing pretty good. Ethereum doing pretty good. Still in a little bit of a choppy area, but could be trying to move up. Ram, I mentioned at the start of the show that they could be trying to use this long holiday weekend because MLK Day is on Monday, no school, no markets. They could be trying to use that to run up crypto this weekend. It's fully possible, and there's some good signs for that. XRP not really getting the job done in a way that I would like. It's a little bit lazy. We talked about all these cup and handles last week. Look how lazy this one is. There's no excitement for this name right now. Doesn't really look very good. BNB looks good. BNB yesterday was nice. It broke out at the open today. Very nice, tight and concise. Good volume in the prior 2-hour candle, getting us up towards the high. So BNB's looking solid. I wish volume would come in, and it may. But even without the volume, it's able to move up and do the right things. Look at the volume aggregation tool. It's going to go big on it. What? Is that it? Oh, it's RSI. Yeah, there we go. VA tool looks pretty good. You got the sellers dropping off. Must be a big candle expired on this one, but in the past couple of weeks, very solid volume aggregation action on Binance Coin. Solana, not quite showing any leadership. Let me rephrase that. Not showing any leadership, unfortunately. Everyone's kind of waiting for this one to lead again. It just hasn't. And until it does, it's a little bit like Bitcoin Cash. It's going to be a bit of a letdown. So don't get your hopes up on things that are letting you down. Let the charts guide you. That's it. You just have to let the problem is that people latch on to things that did really well, thinking that it's going to last forever. Must be very human nature because everybody does it. Everybody. I don't know anyone who doesn't have a story of, oh yeah, I made money on this one, then I lost a bunch of money on this one. It's because you liked it too much. So there you go. BTC, well, I don't know about that. You're gonna start to see some charts that are gonna question they're gonna question that. Now, not to say BTC is not important and not to say BTC isn't good or valid, but there's some other names that percentage wise are doing really good, and some are setting up for some good moves, and hopefully they work. But yeah, Solana, story on Solana's already been had, I think. It really hasn't led for many cycles now, so why would it lead again? What's different that would lead Solana? So I just don't want people to get, love drunk with symbols. And then the second you buy something, people seem to be beholden to it. So just because you buy it doesn't mean it's any better than before you bought it, Just means that you're married to the capital in your position, so you sometimes get overconfident, which is oftentimes why I flip-flop, which is oftentimes why I miss some moves that I called right to begin with, because I really could care less about the names. But I think I really should care more about my instincts in the market. I really should. That would help me a lot. But in terms of falling in love with a name, no, never, ever fall in love with a name or a concept or an idea. Now, if you've come to a conclusion via good analysis, I think you trust that, as long as you've proven yourself to have a good track record. But anyway, Solana here, garbage. I really don't like it. It could move up with the markets. It hasn't led, though. Doge, kind of murdered its potential cup and handle all the way back to the bottom. I don't like that at all. Although Doge did lead us early here at the beginning of the year, had one good day here. Maybe it'll bounce up from this level again. It's possible, but it's a little bit more gambling, I think, than trading. There's a little bit less on the chart. If you have a tight stop loss and you're okay with the loss, that's fine if you want to do that. But it's not something that is, you wouldn't look at this chart by itself like, ooh, that's great. So I don't think so. Tron's just been solid. I mean, really, is a little choppy as it usually is, but it's just been solid. And this isn't something I would usually do, trade or do anything with. But I just have to appreciate and respect. I mean, look at the moving averages. This thing's just back under the early accumulation days. Remember when it was just going up for no apparent reason? Going up for no. It's doing that again. And pullbacks in Tron are usually the best way to get in it. You can see this 10-day acting as a major support line. Obviously, that's the blue one. So if it gets down to the 10-day, definitely could be actionable. VA2 looks great. RSI just chilling. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with Tron. It's not a traditional huge, breakout trade. Capitulation. That's right. I'm sure I'll say it once today. Well, I did just say it once, but now there's no capitulation on the charts. The whole thing, yeah. I was right about most of them, though. Water break. But yeah, Tron doing good here. I overall like the action. I like the consistency. Just trying to find like a good. It's hard with these charts because they get so these pullbacks are so deep. It's hard to see any nuance on the daily here, which is why I keep zooming in and out. But I mean, if you're and here's the funny thing about indicators, right? There's a lot of guys that try to build indicators algorithmically. They go, oh, when the 10-day crosses the 50-day, and the MACD is above this, and the RSI is above that, and the moon aligns with the sun, then buy. The problem with that is that it's impossible. It's literally impossible. There's too many. You can't use any indicator like that. It's always going to be a confluence of those types of indicators, potentially, with the market situation you're in, like the market conditions. That's what everyone gets wrong. The reason I bring that up is because say you were doing moving average crosses, like this is perfect. If you look at this, go, oh, I'm going to do all the moving average crosses when the 10s over the 20s over the 50, which is something that guys like me have had the thought quite often. You're like, oh, that's better, right, than just the 10 over the 20 or just the 10 over the 50. You look at this, you're like, I'm brilliant, but you go to another chart, you're like, yeah, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. So anyway, I say all that just to say that those indicators suck, but eventually everything works. And I love the spread of the moving averages. This just looks really good. GRT, let me look at that real quick because I'll forget it later. GRT, I almost put it on the newsletter today, actually. It hasn't moved. We had it in kind of a flat consolidation here. I generally think it's good. The move up was good. Consolidation could be tighter. And later when we get to the altcoins, you'll see another version of this is much, much, much better. But going back to a thought I said a minute ago about falling in love with coins, when you say, what do I think about GRT, it's just the chart. I don't care anything about the fundamentals of the token itself. It's literally just the chart. So what do I think about GRT? I have no opinion on GRT as a coin, but the chart, I think, is good, but it leaves a little bit to be desired. Now, you could break out of this from any time, but what I don't like about this chart is you had a low here, a higher low here, then you have a lower low. Like if we were on the verge of a breakout, generally you don't get lower lows. Generally you'll get a series of higher lows and forming some type of an ascending triangle. Like this would be much better, but I don't like the wicks on the top side here with huge volume. There's a number of things that aren't my favorite about this chart. I mean, it can still work though. You know what I'm saying? Like it can still work, obviously, but and I think if it does start to work and it's something you've been looking at, then I think you take the trade. You take the chance. Just know when you're exiting. Yeah, for sure. All right, Cardano. This is where you start to see more of those cup and handles. This one came all the way back down. There's your cup. There's your handle. We were hoping on Wednesday, Thursday, it would just kind of stop and go back up, but no, we continued lower. And this is a lot of charts did this, but a few of them are looking pretty good. This one, I wouldn't put it on that list of doing pretty good, but it is a top 20 token, so maybe give it a little bit of the benefit of the doubt in that regard. We'll see what it does. I'm not super happy about it. When we go down alts later, the alts are the interesting ones. These top 20s are garbage, so I'm going to breeze through these. We're already 25 minutes in, so I'm going to breeze through some of these. Hyperliquid, who cares? Sui, I don't like the undercut here. It's not bad. I wouldn't view this as a cup and handle anymore. This would kind of be more of a bull flag, potentially. It's kind of got a wedge shape to it. I don't know. Not the best. Chainlink looks pretty good. After not really faltering the past couple days too much, it pulled in a little bit, but it didn't do too bad. Volume trend looks nice for a handle. I wish we didn't have this swing failure here on Wednesday, but we do. But you look at the daily, and it looks like no harm, no foul. So we'll see if this one can get going. AVAX a little lazier. And I'm going to draw your attention here to this daily chart. And the difference between Chainlink's chart and AVAX's chart. AVAX looks like a retarded chart, and Link's chart looks pretty good. And a lot of it is because this is very vertical, this pullback is nice, this is nice and rounded, this vertical is more solid versus AVAX, kind of a rounded, slopey, moving into it, or Chainlink, you've got this very vertical motion, right? And then kind of a lazy, still somewhat of a little bit of a curl to the downside on AVAX, but Chainlink's seemingly nicer, like there's more purpose to the moves. And with that, all that being said, AVAX is going to go up 20% tomorrow. Chainlink will do nothing. That's just how the fucking market works, guys. But yeah, verticality here on Chainlink. AVAX's verticality was good, and it had better volume, so that's a positive. But then to come all the way back down and undercut that candle, I'm just not a fan of that. And then you have Chainlink here, which is able to hold up. So kind of a tale of two charts. You guys may see it different. That's just what I see. Next up is Leo, which is stupid. XLM, choppy sideways, also lazy, rolling over to the right. Bitcoin Cash I've been dumbfounded by the fact this can even make some type of the weirdest, choppiest cup in the world. But it's a dead chart. It's just, I don't know. There's nothing concise about this. There's no control to this chart. It's just a lot of being able to get sold off. I don't like it at all. TON, garbage. Choppy lower down. Shiba, choppy lower down. I don't like it at all. You get some volume initially, and people will hang on to this volume and forget all of this action. And look, if new volume comes in and you go with the momentum, great. That's amazing. But it's not one that suits a technical style, right? So you can chase momentum. That's one thing you can do. And this is a good chase momentum play. If you had some kind of a volume indicator and then it was going off and you took the trade, you would have benefited from that, right? And then the volume would have waned with this topping situation and you'd be out the trade. That is a style, okay? I don't really have those tools lined up, but you can trade that style. But what I do is structure based. What I do is accumulation distribution based. So I'll appreciate that. I won't partake in it, but I'll use that as information along with this information to make a decision. And there's no good decision here. Just not. HBAR, bunch of garbage. Litecoin rolled over into a new low. So this looks like the market isn't even holding up. And for Litecoin, it's not. Now, it looks like we are getting to his longer trend line in Litecoin. Maybe that's something that a bottom buyer would like to partake in. We did get some elevated volume. Not in the right. Ideally, this would be the higher volume than this candle. It tried to rally, reversed hard on really big volume, and then this candle came down and got some support. I'm not sure if it's amazing support going to the 2-hour time frame. Bitcoin or MicroStrategy? I don't know. I'd have to look at that. I'd have to look at that. MicroStrategy's been beaten up. I don't understand why. You'd be better to probably double your money with gold or ASTS at this point. Maybe even silver. Um, than either of those choices. You don't, I don't think you have to. Okay, I think you limit yourself if you're sticking to a Bitcoin paradigm. Okay, let's just be clear. Let's just be clear. Don't limit yourself. Why put handcuffs on yourself? Does that make sense? Like why? What's the why Bitcoin or MicroStrategy when MicroStrategy is essentially an ETF for Bitcoin, right? But why are you limiting yourself to those assets? Gold's been on a massive run. Silver's been on a massive run. Very obvious moves. Extremely obvious moves. Like to the point of absurdity. If you look at charts and have paid attention to the news at all and you didn't see silver, get a different job because you suck. Or just get better. Like look at this silver trade. Look at this cup and handle on silver. How are you not how does that not pique your interest? And we all know there's a rotation of precious metals due to, U.S. inflationary things and global macroeconomics. I mean, if you're not paying attention to that story, you're in the wrong industry. You're just in the wrong industry. All these stories are very important. What you do with them is less important or can be. But here you got at 48, silver's at 80, so you're pretty close. Well, actually, if you bought there, you're at 46, so that's been what 92. So you're still really close, much closer to doubling your money than trying to hold on to Bitcoin, which has been doing jack shit for months. Like, what's the point? I'm about making money. I'm not about trading Bitcoin. Does that make sense? Then you look at MicroStrategy. It was just been dead, And so for this go to 172 to what would be at 325, 350. Hold on. How does math work again? 150 times 2, 300. So 350. 350 is right there. That's actually feasible. That's actually feasible. The question you have to ask yourself, though, is why did it drop that deep to begin with? And are the circumstances that caused it to drop that deep even real, or is it just general market malaise? And then you look at Bitcoin and say, do I want Bitcoin to go from 95 to 200,000, like all-time highs? So to answer your question directly, so my original points are very valid. Why limit yourself? But to answer your question directly, I would argue MicroStrategy. Yeah, to answer your question directly, because after looking at the charts, you have a dump which, if this is simply a Bitcoin ETF, makes 0 sense. The risk here is that the fact that it did dump so much harder than Bitcoin did. The question is why, and then the question is, can it come back? And are those fundamental things that caused it to dump going to remain with it? And you can look at Riot Blockchain as a decent example of what I'm talking about. Riot Blockchain topped in February 2021. Hasn't been back since. Bitcoin's made new highs. And if you view this as a derivative ETF or BTC, it sounds like a lot of technical jargon in those 3 words. If you're looking at this as a derivative of BTC, and ETF type of strategy, you could have argued this with Riot Blockchain. Back here, June 2022. You could have argued whenever. I mean, pick a point, right? Pick a point. But the fact of the matter is, it never got back to the top. And so this also goes back to what I talked about earlier about falling in love with something. This was one of my best missed trades of all time. 10,000% options trade on this leg right there. Missed it. I had it. A friend of mine talked me out of it. All my fault, not his. All my fault for letting him talk me out of it. But it would have been a 10,000% trade. If it would have held at peak, trough to peak and all that stuff. Did I go back to the well 47 times remembering that amazing trade? No. I listened to the price action and it told me it was a big piece of garbage, and it ended up being a big piece of garbage. So MicroStrategy, why is it down so far? That alone would keep me out of it, because I want to keep my money safe. I'm more worried about keeping that money so I can double it versus then doubling it in MicroStrategy, if that makes sense. So If Bitcoin goes wrong, so does MicroStrategy, and there are things that can cause MicroStrategy to go wrong that won't affect BTC. Yeah, so exactly. So in those, with that context that English gave us there, which is good context, are those things that affected MicroStrategy go lower? What are those, and are they valid? Are they still around? If you're going to make that A to B comparison, you need to do the ABC comparison on MicroStrategy itself. That's my view on it. But I think you are more likely to double your money in MicroStrategy than BTC. But I think you're also even more likely to double your money in something that is fundamentally better right now. That's all. All right, I think we were pretty much done. We were getting there. Litecoin sucks. DOT kind of sucks. Yeah, there you go, Aram. Aram's got the words of wisdom. Yeah, don't trade the names, trade the chart. But you have to know what the name is about and the context of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to understand. You have to understand the context in which you're trading. And you know, for me, like I took a trade ASTS on Monday. So all I know about ASTS is that they're trying to do a space-based cellular signal. That's all I know. I know a little bit about the revenue. I know a little bit about the market cap, and I know it has a huge public following. And I know the chart broke out. That's pretty much all I know. That's all I need to know. I'm perfectly happy to make money in this chart, or potentially lose money in this chart. You know, well, I'm only up like 17% around. I'm not like it's really gone that far. I mean, there's still time. And the move was good, but I'm not a huge fan of the volume. I gotta say, not a real big. So that could be a flaw. It could be out of the stick on Monday. I mean, the market. When we get to stocks, we'll talk about that stuff. But I think the market's in a good spot. Soxel's doing great. I can't fault Soxel. I read some IBD stuff this morning in the big picture, and they say it's looking great. So I'm trying to, get off of my whole, Trump's a douchebag thing and just trade the charts, even though he affects charts in crazy ways. So MNT, a bunch of garbage. Let me look at the newsletter here. I'm gonna move some things around so I can get to my newsletter, and then I'll bring them back. Okay. So let's take a look at the top altcoins that I have. I got a list of like 160 altcoins, whatever it is. Oh, they stopped putting the numbers on here. USD pairs. It's down to 96? Wow. How's that? They've delisted a lot of stocks. That used to be like 180. Or a lot of cryptos. Is this only 96? I guess it is. All right, let's take a look at the ones that I chose to highlight today. ARB. So this kind of starts the whole cup and handle thing. Now the volume on the way up isn't that great on ARB, but all in all, it looks like a pretty good pattern, and a breakout would be great. I think this is a good looking chart. Stops before the left peak. It forms a handle. Handle came in a little bit more than I'd like it to, but we were able to get back up. So if this is able to rock it up, then all is good in the hood. AXS. I don't think I highlighted this one. I saw it. I didn't put it on the newsletter, but I guess that was a mistake. Should have put it on yesterday, because look at that. Look at that move, 55%. So this market is capable, and we're stalling at a breakdown point. This market is capable of some amazing things. I don't think that you run away from it. I think that you do the wise trading decisions. This is another one, where a volume indicator would have come in really handy. I'm not perfect when I look at all these charts. I mean, if you look at this from a nuanced perspective, look at that and then look at that. That could be in of itself a buy signal, and then the volume just stays consistent, and then you end up with that. So straight up move for basically a day and a half on AXS. So I don't think it's actionable right now. You got to wait for this to consolidate and see how that's going to do. Definitely don't buy it right now. But just the fact that we can do this, I think is a big positive. And we saw a few things last week that had moves like this, right? ENJ. And that's big, stupid, spiky day getting in the way. ENJ working above its consolidation here. So here's another one of those cup and handles that came all the way back down, that bounced, and late yesterday, boom, boom, two huge volume candles and some follow through today. Again, one that's too extended to get involved with, but these are the things that make a healthy market. If you miss this move, that's okay. There'll very likely be another one. We've been in a downtrend for a long period of time. You know, and I'm using engine as the example because that's when I'm thinking about this, but downtrend for a long period of time, potential reversal. If we get a bigger reversal, there's bigger and better moves to come. If it rolls over and falls flat, you'll be happy to jump in arbitrarily high. So you don't want to jump in when it's high, you want to jump in when it's breaking out, which could be right here. If you're lucky and see it on these two candles, you could make that leap above this high, you know. All right, next up is Harmony. Symbol is ONE, 1. It looks like we're getting some reversal from what was happening when I was doing the newsletter. So a little bit of reversal here going on. Again, it is MLK long weekend, so they could be trying to play some games. I was hoping they're going to use it to run the market. We shall see. So Harmony, another cup and handle. Looks like we're trying to break above that. We did stall underneath of that high, and that's the problem with these big spikes. These can act as resistance later on. So you look good. You give it the benefit of the doubt. It gets up here and it stalls. Hopefully you don't buy too high on something like this. This one's tricky. After it stalls like that, you hope it stays strong. Ideally, this thing can reverse. We're on the 5-minute now. VA2 will just flip pretty handily. Yeah, pretty much on that candle. So we'll see how this goes. Some of these can be tricky. But again, manage your stop losses appropriately, and you can start to take some chances here and there. Rune. I just tried to move. Okay, so Rune was a nice tight chart. Look at this thing, though. Rune, not really known, and not really known for being a good one, because it just isn't. But what a nice, tight, concise flag. What such good volume. Bit of a change in behavior for something like Rune, which really doesn't have, like, great. So here's a good volume signature, and that one failed. So this one, not great volume signature. Like, I'm looking for good volume signatures is what I'm looking for. That's a good signature. So maybe it's going to be a one and done. The past couple it's been kind of a one and done. Here's one where you have a nice move up, long consolidations. Things hold high, then they start to rally. 2.254 was a big cup breakout on that one. So it's got a little bit of potential. I don't like the failure though. Yeah. Sometimes things are just weird. And then Sushi. Trying to go to, just getting another reversal. So we're getting reversals here. Darn it. Water break. Yeah, we're going to do stocks right after crypto, actually. So we'll probably stay on stocks for a little bit. So just so you guys know, this is a preview of my Power Hour, which is a daily newsletter. I do everything but Sundays. I do a daily newsletter, and I do a video. Saturdays are my only live shows, and I do quite a bit of stocks as well. It's called crypto, but I do a lot of stocks. Don't get it twisted. I do a lot. It should be called, well, it should change. It really shouldn't be real crypto anymore, even though my core audience still does crypto, which is why I do focus on it, because that's what they're here for. But on top of that, I do my stock stuff. And if I think about trades, you guys get the trades, you guys get all that stuff. So if you are interested, you can sign up for the show, Real Crypto. Man, I don't go to my website anymore at all. I'm just trading. Yeah, you can go right there, and you can sign up for the newsletter. Yeah, we'll do stocks actually really shortly. Where Sushi was the last one I had, but I do want to go through. There's a couple names that had some high percentages that I didn't cover. Blur's up 14%. Blur with a good day on Wednesday. Amazing volume, and yeah, we'll see if it gets going. The problem with something like Blur for me is I really generally focus on high quality assets. I wouldn't view Blur as a high quality asset. Now, if I'm just sitting here watching the chart all day, yeah, I'd probably give it a shot or something. But right now, after failing that, I'm just waiting for the consolidation. Obviously AXS, but it's up so much. We'll take a look at it. This one, yeah, you just got to see how this consolidation plays out. One thing I didn't put on the newsletter that we should look at is Dash. So Dash, just an amazing move out of nowhere. Those volume scanning tools would do really good, and Dash with a massive move, rolling over. Looks like the buyers kind of stepped away. So now you're playing a waiting game. I would be out of this one already. If not, I'd be out right now because we're at the low of this consolidation. Really don't want to be down there too much. You'd like things to stay elevated and then just exit, period. And just wait for another one. We had ENJ, didn't we? Yeah, we did have ENJ. Gala's up 9%. We talked about GRT. I was going to look at that one too, but we already got it. So a little bit of stalling right there. So that's a little bit dangerous. Gala, again, not really a big winner. It's hard for me to, I show the charts and stuff like that. If something's really good, I point it out. But on these altcoins, they're really pretty random on the ones that pop. You've got to look. And I mentioned it actually on Friday. I said use volume as your signature because these moves have volume and you've got to use it. And that advice would have heeded if you stuck to that. Swing high here, elevated volume. Not quite a pocket pivot, but looks pretty good. All right, I may have to take a quick break before we go into stocks. I need to use the little girl's room. And yeah, so Zen rolling it over. Zcash hasn't really been performing. Zcash, huge run up late last year. Nice holding, nice consolidation. It'll probably come back at some point. But yeah, I got to take a quick break. They'll move on to stocks. I don't know everything I want to look at with stocks, so I can't say how long we'll be here, but it'll be a minute. So guys, give me a minute or two, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Coin, please. Okay. Yeah, sure. How are we doing on the show? Public, I never really. Let's see how many guys we got watching. Oh, it says 12 viewers. That's pretty good for me. That's pretty good for me. I'll take it. Always good to have a little bit of an ego boost, I guess. Thanks for joining, everybody. I really do enjoy kind of spreading my view on the markets, and you know, I'm in my head a lot, and it's good to get out of my head and talk to you guys. So, hope you guys do well. Okay, so let's go into stocks, and I'm going to start off with the indexes per usual. Let me look at what did really good on Friday. Lunar, ASTS, RDW, AMPX. These space robots are doing good. So, I need to sneeze. Oh, got some weird pauses. That's why. I'm trying to sneeze. Index is trying to figure themselves out here. Is really what's going on. And IBD says it's really good. They say we're like 5 distribution days. I'm not sure if they call the other day distribution day. Let me look. I have a little bit too many tabs open right now, but and IBD's website is garbage. So EIBD. Now let's go to the where is it? Market trend. The big picture. Really don't like their new website. So last time it was 5 distribution days on the Nasdaq. Let's see if it moved to 6. Yeah, 6 on the Nasdaq, 4 on the S&P. Bloom Energy. I love Bloom Energy. Yeah, I'm not in a great trading space right now. I mean, I'm doing okay, but like I missed out my last big trade. It's just not very good. Bloom Energy, all the trades, I just screwed everything up, let's put it that way. But the index look like they need a bit of a decision to be made here, what they're going to do. They're racking up some distribution days. But then you look at something like Soxol. Soxol is a 3-time semiconductor ETF. It's going. So there's definitely some positivity here, but it's really out of the big market cap names. NVIDIA, very lackadaisical. No momentum to NVIDIA. It's just flat. Google is one of the only large caps that even has an inkling of momentum. Excuse me. And it's really failing to break out here. It's not, look at the volume. I mean, Friday was above average volume. Probably half just because it was a Friday. Quadruple witching Friday? No, that's in March. Not really going anywhere. You look at Microsoft. Microsoft's been garbage. So you wonder why the indexes aren't moving. It's because all these big caps that are way overexposed, just way too much been pumped into them, not really doing anything. Amazon, not bad. It's not faltering like Microsoft. It's not going anywhere. Then you got Meta. So you look at all these big market cap names, and they're just not doing anything. Oracle's up here too, looking like garbage. So, but you're being propped up by a lot of these chip names, and I think Soxol. This is the most underestimated investable asset in the market. Point blank and period. I'm just going to say that, at least right now, in our moment in history. Because I was talking to my father-in-law. He was over here, and I was showing him alternative ways to invest and stuff like that. Well, I don't know, whatever I was showing him. Anyway, back here when we kind of consider the market, sealed reversed, this is a 450%, 446, 444, whatever number you want to call it. Who did better than that since April of last year? I'm just going to wait because I have to blow my nose. All right, done blowing my nose. So no one said me. No one said I did better than that. I don't even think I can raise my hand and say I did better than 444% last year. Maybe at some point. But yeah, I did good last year. I did really good last year, guys. I did not do 444% good. I just didn't. What did I do? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Now I want to look it up. I'm going to look it up on this other screen. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did last year. In my big account. No, I didn't do 444 ROM. I think I did So a little bit of bragging, but also a little bit of saying that even as good as I think I am, I'm just going to say that, I'm not as good as holding Soxel. Okay? It's just, I'm just going to put it out there, guys. I'm literally just going to put it out there that as good as we all think we are, sometimes understanding performance. So if I go back, it doesn't let me pick the time. Yeah, it doesn't let me pick the time. I think I can do this without showing you my balance, which is probably a good thing considering I'm public. So, go back 1 year. Yeah, see, I didn't even beat that. I'll go back 1 year, which is going back to March. So I did pretty close. Okay, I'm gonna move this over. Let me adjust my screen so I'm gonna make sure my account stuff isn't being shown. But I'm showing you this, like I said, a little bit of a humble brag, but also just to show you that, holy crap, sometimes it's buy a damn 3 times ETF in the best sector in the whole market. That's my big account. So basically it's saying over 1 year I did 300%, 297. Okay. So and I have all, indexes really don't do shit for me, but yeah, I was really scared. The reason this is flat is I was just very scared to trade the account as good of a year as I had already. I was very, very, very scared to trade the account. Then I started trading it again and did pretty good. So that's great. I mean, I did great. 300% in the past year. 300%. I mean, is there anything to be mad at about that? No. But I could have got 444. I could have did 444% by sitting on my ass. And I could have done better than that by market timing the Soxel in that manner as well. So, I mean, we're going to talk about stuff today. But I'm just saying, guys, I'm just saying, if the market, if nothing else changes and the market does good, if you guys aren't doing 100%, just buy the fucking Soxel. Just buy it. Just buy it. So I kind of had that thought. I made a mistake. I made lots of mistakes so far this year. One of my biggest ones was taking these moves on January 2nd for granted. Okay? And it's already up 30%. It's already up 30%. And I'm not up year to date. I'm down 7%. So I would still have done better just holding Soxel. Just holding Soxel. I still would have done better. So, yeah, exit around 20. Well, that's fine. You just got to get back in. This is such a gift. I'm just going to say it. This Soxel ETF is such a gift. There's really not. So as traders, we like to think we're smart. We like to think we can jump in and catch this, jump in and catch that. But man, just catching these trends in Soxel. Just catch the trends. I mean, go from here up to there. Maybe you sell, maybe get back in at about break even. Maybe you make a little bit there. Maybe that chops you up for a little bit. Maybe you sell over here and you get in with a little bit of a loss there. And then you come up, you sell here, you get back in, hopefully break even. And then you sell up here and then you get back in probably. I mean, it's the same thing as holding it the whole fucking time. Really. 444%. Remember we talked about that way down here when it was at the bottom. It was like 700% because we were like way down here, wasn't it? Yeah, 700%, 761. Like way, I'm like, remember that? Or I'm like, we should just hold this fucking thing. I'm like, ain't none of us going to do better than 700% in a year or two. How right was that statement? I just want to say that. I just want to say that. Sometimes doing the stupidly obvious thing that is boring as hell. Who would have liked to have done 700% instead of 444%? Like, seriously. Without even going into the other charts. Because fuck the charts. Just buy Soxel. I'm going to be the best money manager in the world. We talked about a lot. We did. I'm right a lot, Aram. I'm really right, like a lot. And I just don't do I do good stuff. I mean, 300% last year. You can't laugh at that, okay? You can't. But man, sometimes just the most obvious thing. And the thing about the Soxel, is that it's a 3 times semiconductor ETF. Our entire world, more and more, is run off semiconductors. Just more and more. Now, when this growth cycle is done, I just don't. Yeah, I can't see the end to semiconductors. It's going to happen at some point, and the stocks will be a lot less important. But at some point, it'll stop being what it is. But it ain't today. It is not today. Like look at these swings. I just market time the Soxhole and shut the fuck up. Like 4,000% from okay, I did better than 4,000% from 2016. But yeah, I definitely did better. Right? Let me look. 2016. That was before I started my run. So let me see. Oh yeah, I did way better than that. Oh yeah, I did way. So, buying and holding forever isn't the key. But if you take Soxhole and you market time and you buy these big dips, guys, I mean, look at these returns. 313%. So, say you have 1,000. I'm just gonna do $1,000. I'm just gonna do it. $1,000. You know what? Where's my phone? I'm gonna do it on my phone. Just because it's up. And we've done this before, and I've come to the same damn conclusion, and I just keep on doing stupid options bullshit. And I should just fucking buy and hold Soxhole like a stupid market timing person that just makes a fuck ton of money. Hi, wife.
Go make some fuck ton of money already.
Yeah, I'm trying. So, okay, I'm gonna start down here and I'm gonna do this very quickly. It's gonna take like 5-6 minutes. Okay, so $1,000. I'm just gonna do $1,000 because this is gonna be the dumbest thing in the history of mankind, and you won't even fucking believe it. So I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm doing. I'm not gonna cherry pick numbers or levels. Okay, we're gonna buy here. We're not gonna buy here. We're gonna buy here, and I'm just gonna say you get these little flip-de-doos. We're just gonna say we break even on each of those, and then we exit. I'm even going to negate all of this, and let's say we exit here. Okay? Boom, 565%. So times 565% is $5,650. See, I'm good at math. Okay, and let's say you buy here. It goes down. Let's say you buy here, and then let's say you sell here. Times 62%. Times 1.62. All right, 9,000. There you go. Let's say you buy here, and we're just going to take the big swings. Come on. And let's say you sell on the gap down, 91%, times 1.91, $17,482. And then you get the big COVID dip. And then you buy when we actually bought. And then it just continues to go up. I think it was, break even stuff. This probably would have been a bunch of break-even stuff. But let's just go to here because it's on the screen. 747% times 747% equals $130,592. Okay? So then you buy here and you get out at break-even. We're not going to say we didn't make any money on that one. And then 2022 comes along, goes down. We'll consider all these break-even moments, even though, let's say we lost 20%. Times 0.8. $104,473, okay? And then you go over here, we come down, we have some, let's say we buy right here. Okay, we buy right there. We come up, we sell, we buy back, we break even. We come up, we buy, break even. Probably would have sold here. This also probably would have been around break even. We probably would have made a little bit if we're lucky. And then you rally up. Again, I'm just doing this quickly. And then go up. Probably would have sold in here. Probably would have gone in break even again too. And then probably would have sold there. 432%. Times 432%. $451,326. And probably would have broken even. Let's say we lost another 20% through here. Times 0.8. Right? We're going to lose 20% from time to time, right? And then, what did we say this was? 400 and... Oh, where was that? What? Right there? Times 432%. $1,559,785 from $1,000. Guys, the reason I do this, and I'm going to talk about the chart you want to look at. Did you make $1.5 million from 2016 for the past 10 years? It's been 10 years, give or take. On what if you did it with $10,000? $15 million. If you did it with 10 grand, that's 15 million bucks in 10 years. As the great Gotham Chess would start out his video saying, ladies and gentlemen, holy fuck. Guys, look, I read charts. I have strategies that I do that work pretty well. And I did better than that, actually. I did better than that. No bullshit. No bullshit. Well, no, I didn't, because I didn't start with $1,000 bucks. I started with 12,000, so I didn't do better than that. This would have done better for me than all of my life's work coming to fruition and me getting profitable. Just doing Soxal, just market timing this wonderful little asset. This wonderful, wonderful, wonderful asset. Some guy got together and said, hey, we should make a 3 times ETF of the semiconductor index, which is the SOX. It's a 3 times derivative of this. And because it's a 3 times derivative, you get these mad undulations. You get these big dips. Notice this hasn't made a new high, and the SOX is well into new highs. Well, you are, Aram. Whether you're going to do it, you're going to wait 10 years. How are you not going to wait 10 years? How? How? See, I think as human beings, we have a propensity to want to act. Okay, I got a few more napkins, babe? Oh, thank you. As humans, we have a propensity to want to act, right? Like, it's just our nature. We want to build a business. We want to raise kids. We want to X, Y, Z. Pick the thing. I don't know. Pick it. But you were here 10 years ago. My wife just handed me some food, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with that. Yeah. But I mean, seriously, what are you doing in 10 years? You think you're going to do better than Soxal in 10 years? Apparently, I didn't even do better than Soxal in 10 years with market timing Soxal. I don't think I did. I mean, if I just took that percentage gain like I did and used that $1,000, I got more than that 1.5, but I don't got more than 15, and I started with more than 10. As Bogle would say, don't do something, just stand there. Does he say that? I've never heard that. That's funny. But I'm not advocating that. I'm advocating you fully 100% exit Soxal when you need to. That's what I'm advocating. I'm advocating, and we'll move on to those other charts in a little bit here. But what I'm advocating is that understand that if the market's still in a bullish cycle, this Soxal could double from here, from 50 to 100, not just because of the numbers, but Soxal just kind of does that. That's 70%. That's 77%. Why do anything else? I mean, I've outperformed Soxal, at certain times. But so my benchmark used to be TQQQ, and I've outperformed TQQQ. I know that for a fact. I've outperformed the TQQQ, but the Soxal, I don't know, man. This thing is just monster. You get these big swings like this, and if you can buy these deep, if all you do is buy these super deep, and like Aram said, we talked about the massive volume. We talked about these bottoming signatures down here, but they're hard to trade. But think of it from this perspective. Let's say you did sell up here, and you're the best market timer ever, and you didn't buy ever in here, and it drops. You're sure as hell buying in here somewhere, and then you would be up 700% that we talked about. And that would have been less than a year. Come on. Come on. And if it goes down another 20, 30%, like it's not going to come back at some point? Come on. I don't know, man. I should just be all in on Soxel. And that's it. Like seriously, just market time Soxel to the point of oblivion, to the point of just tens and potentially hundreds of millions of dollars if you can swing that kind of liquidity in the actual Soxel market, which I think you could do over time. But I just crazy. Just crazy. 444% with a non-aggressive entry. 700% with an aggressive entry. It's insane. Yeah, you can't, but oh, it's so tough, Aram. It's just tough. It's just tough. But guys, here's the trade. This is everything. Like seriously, I can't even. I can't tell you how to be better than this. You guys are watching my show, hopefully because you think I'm really funny, because, I'm hilarious. I am very hilarious. But hopefully you watch me to make some money. And the reason I'm spending so much time on this is because this is the best I got. This is the best I got. Point blank and period, my friends. Point blank and period. Let's go on to some less point blank and period things like Tesla. Tesla's been very choppy. I haven't been in Tesla. I was tempted to get into Tesla a little bit on this cup consolidation that it was forming under the all-time high. I don't like the action in it. I don't think it's vertical enough. I don't think it's the one. It's not going to beat Soxel. That's for damn sure. How do you know? And how sometimes when the market's in a good situation, we did better on options. Yeah, we did. But take a step back. Take a step back. Still didn't do better in Soxel. Right? Overall, still didn't do better in Soxel. And is your benchmark just to match Soxel? Like if I could match Soxel, what a phenomenal year that would be. Why not just buy Soxel? It's the same reason why the rich people that are like really rich just buy ETFs and live off that 1 or 2% a year, because it's just easy. Why fuck around? Seriously, like why fuck around? I'm not even joking. I say that as someone that's dedicated his entire adult life to learning this charting bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I've spent my entire adult life, all of it, to this, just to go to this chart. I'm like, yeah, I should have bought that. I mean, still market time. I found a more effective way to trade Soxel, which is to avoid massive drawdowns. Like, why sit here and have an 85% drawdown, just have it come back to break even, just have it draw back to 85%, just have it come back to break even, and then you're break even since 2022. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of. No, you sell and you buy back at a deal. Say you even bought back right here. Now granted you wouldn't let it go into a loss of 55% because you're not an idiot, but you bought it here, it comes up, it comes down, you sell it break even, you do it again, and you're rewarded. So, well, Aram, a year ago, what would 444%? What would that have done for you? And from last April, seriously. I'm gonna take a bite of what my bio put in front of me. I'd like you to. You don't have to say a number if you don't want to, but in some context, how much bigger would your account have been today than where it is today? So if you had 10 grand, and today you have 10 grand, you'd have $44,000. If my friends, my kids' friends are here, so it's going to get crazy. If you have 5 grand, you would still have had 44 grand. So just in percentage wise, that would have been 800% better. What would you have done better? I'm going to take a bite. Okay, so I ate the whole hash brown she put in front of me. But I was thinking about it for me. If you put my 300% up on the board there, I would have been 33% better. I would have been 33% better just just trading Soxel. I've been 33% better. You know? So if as of last April you had a $10,000 account and now you have a $5,000 account, you'd have been 800% better. You know? So after 60 to 7 turn 7 to 30. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying, Ram, it's a possibility just to be in Soxel and have amazing returns. So, yeah. With that said, though, let's move on to like I said, less profitable things apparently. Yeah, I mean in bursts, yeah, you definitely can outperform the Soxel 100%. My Nvidia trade, I greatly outperform Soxel, right? Namely because it's a component of Soxel, but with IonQ trade, I greatly exceeded Soxel. Maybe a way to do it is to make Soxel your default cash position when Soxel is in an uptrend. So in other words, when Soxel is dropping, you probably don't have any trades on anyways, and so you're just cash. But once the market settles itself out, which it kind of did over here in late November, I kind of thought to pull some triggers, but I didn't, obviously. And that would have been a good time to get just even a little pullback like this. That's 28%, 20 to the bottom at 37%. Even, say because here's the way it works for me. When my trades will stop working in this area somewhere. I don't know, maybe early on, maybe on this day, maybe when we gap down here, maybe on these distribution days. All of my trades will stop working, and then I'll eventually be cash. And by that time, Soxel's not working, so I'm cash. And by the time Soxel dips, 20, 25, 30%, and nothing really, changes with the markets, maybe it's time just to buy half a Soxel back as a cash position, and then when Reddit sets up or Palantir sets up, then when you get those trades, then you go from Soxel to those trades. Does that make sense? That could be a better way to do it. Use basically Soxel as USDT or USDC in the crypto world, right? You're like choosing what you're using as a cash position, and then go from there. So, I think that is definitely a potential a strategy. To kind of pick the best of both worlds. It's a little bit complicated, but it's not that complicated, I think, when you do it for a little bit. All right, let's go back down to the indexes, and we'll get off my massive soapbox with Soxel. Could that have been a larger soapbox, ladies and gentlemen? I think I spent 30 minutes screaming at you how we all suck and we should just buy Soxel. With that said, let's move on to some charts. ES, there's the ES. ES, looking a lot like the NASDAQ. There's the NASDAQ. We're under the high, but that's because the big caps are doing garbage. S&P shows that generally, somehow the economy is doing a little bit better conditionally, I guess. I'm not sure if that's the word I want to say, but Russell's doing good. Small caps are doing good. Transports have been super good. I wish there was a 10 times ETF on these transports. I would have bought right there. And what a good move the transports have had. There's been a lot of news out there regarding the transports and issues with the sector, but this chart shows otherwise. So I listen to the charts. Apple, garbage. Tesla, stupid. Soxel, having sex with the hottest chick on the planet. Nvidia, choppy garbage. Google garbage. Palantir, broke the wedge. Dead garbage. AMD, component of Soxel, not doing too bad here. We got some higher volume last week. Got to average volume. Looking pretty decent there. Nothing really great. Nothing really to do chart-wise with it though. ARM, lower. ASML, killing it. SMCI, great reversal day. That's what SMCI needed. We talked about this actually a couple days ago down here. Like, yeah, man, it was pretty low. Should find some support, and then boom, we got some support. But yeah, look at where we got back down to. These are the, like in Soxel, these are those low doldrums. Supermicro is a leader in the AI space, and that's why it's on my list. It's been trading like garbage, but maybe it's on the come up. Reddit lost its momentum. Support on the 50-day and the trend line. So the trend line support working so far. So maybe maybe this is now a full blown cup and handle, Aram. It's not ideal because we don't have a great vertical on the right side of the handle. And I don't like that high volume candle, kind of how it came in, but we'll see. We'll see. Oil stocks finally getting going after maybe they're going to make some money with Venezuela, probably. Microsoft, apparently they're not making computers anymore because Microsoft's dropping. JP Morgan pulled in, unfortunately. ConocoPhillips, choppy, Backblaze, shouldn't be on the list. Amazon sucks, Meta sucks, Comfort Systems still making new highs. No options trade, but man, is this thing reminds me of AutoZone. Just fucking walking up every day, 1%. Oracle. Oracle sucks anyways. 3 times ETFs, yen has pulled in. So, yeah, market doesn't like China right now. Good for us. UTSL, BITX, ETHT. AGQ, the symbol I can never get right. This is silver 2 times ETF. I'm in this at the moment. I'm in this and I'm in Soxel. And I flip-flop on Soxel so much. Gosh, why do I do that? I'm just down so much because of that. I should be saying I should be up a lot higher if I weren't to do stupid stuff like that. Man, Soxel's just good. It's like unbelievable. It's so unbelievably good. I don't believe it's good. Like in the moment when I see selling pressure, I'm like, oh, I got to get out. Nope, you're stupid. Just don't do that. Just believe it. Just believe in Soxel, ladies and gentlemen. Man, if my kids' accounts were in Soxel, Jesus. Okay, my kids' accounts are just all Soxel from now on. I think maybe even my small IRA is going to be just Soxel from now on. I got to take all my other stupid job IRAs that I've never consolidate them, make them all Soxel. That way I can just trade my big account and make that half Soxel. Jesus, man. And trade options with the rest. So I'm not bored. AGQ. This is doing good. We still well above the 10-day moving average, and for the amount of volume we're moving, you think if it were selling pressure, you think it'd be lower? I don't know. We got out of this alive. The volume is, look at this average volume. It's just expanding on AGQ. So I view that as positive. If we take SLV, also expanding volume, got to take it as a positive. Got to take it that this just isn't done. So, and apparently silver in China was trading at like $105. So this is just paper SLV. So it's not trading at quite the premium that on the Shanghai index that it is. But yeah, and silver itself's at $90. So this is really the more analog to the China exchange, which is doing physical silver. Looking at gold, because we're talking about metals. Gold, amazing. I saw the pullback to the trend line. I wish I had the frame of mind to buy it. Looks like my trend line's a little bit off. Just a little bit, but yeah, it got right there. That would have been a great little addition buy point. I had a gold trade on that probably I still should be in. Yeah, look at my time frames here. Oh man, so many missed trades by me, guys. So I got to go back and see what that trade was. I think it was only for 50 days though, so it probably wouldn't have worked out so hot. Yeah, already 41 days. Yeah, it probably wouldn't have worked out so hot, but I should revisit that. And because again, I'm generally right. Like, I'm generally freaking right. I just don't trust myself enough. I should have blown out that Soxel 444. I should have blown that out. Easy. My account should be double again. I should be 600% up. But I'm human. Why do I have to be human? Why can't I just be a machine? What were some other ones? Oh, coin. I'm sorry. Hope you weren't waiting just for me to look at coin. Coin's dumb. Why? What? Huh? What? So I mean, if you're looking at coin, you're looking at potentially an inverted head and shoulders. You're looking for a reversal. I do see a little bit of a... I don't know if this would be considered a shoulder. You'll probably form another shoulder maybe before earnings. The volume signatures are in the right places, so it's not a bad thing. I'm not running to it. Obviously, coin's going to run if crypto goes, so if you think crypto's going to go, yeah, maybe a trade is on the table. You had to run, you know, like this. There's earnings there, which caused the gap up. If you bought here, you probably could have held through earnings if that's what you do, such as what's going to happen up here pretty soon with earnings coming up in February 12th, so a little under a month. Yeah, could have a reversal here. Not a trade I would take, but let's go. So we went down metals. Okay, so I wanted to say before I got on my big soapbox, space robots, AI makers, these are the next winners, current winners, right? BE's on this list. Bloom Energy. Don't sleep on that name, I don't think. We'll go down space robots first because it's on top. Intuitive Machines has been on a roll, absolute roll here. I think there's some opportunity down here, but I really wasn't. I have a hard time trading these names. These aren't classical patterns, so it's not really my bag. ATRO. I don't think this is any kind of a base, but you will see these rising wedge structures that blast off like this, and they can be very powerful. And ATROs has been pretty good. I didn't really highlight it, but that's almost 50% run right there, maybe about a 40% run. Rocket Lab's been doing pretty good. There's a cup and handle breakout right there. So 20% on that one, which is already up 40%. So greatly exceeding targets there. Can't do anything there. ASTS could be next up. Oh, there's the volume. What was that volume I was seeing? Didn't I look at ASTS? Did I pick up this one? Because that volume was different. Maybe somehow I picked this one. Okay, that looks a million times better. Double average volume, breakout. I have this doubling. I have an option target for this to double. And I think it could. I also think Soxo could double from, well, where it broke out from, not from where it's at now. And you know, it broke out at about 50. We're up a little bit. We're up 60, yeah. So it's not a double from now. And that's just a round. That's just a whatever. You know what I mean? Like double, whatever that means. I don't put too much. So what I do is I derive targets based on kind of my general sense of the matter at hand. And ASTS has already had some phenomenal runs. That was up 80%. You know, this move here was up 80, upwards of 100%. So if this doesn't quite get to 100%, it's okay. You know, it's okay, but it's in the space robots category, which is moving, which is doing good. ASTS is highly followed, and what a good volume move. And my option, if I go intraday, I did buy it, I think right around here. Yeah, I bought right one of these two candles. So I'm up like 17%, which is nice. And I fumbled my gold trade. I'm not going to fumble this trade up like I fumbled my gold trade. My gold trade, I was up like 20%, and then I sold on a down day. I took a 20% profit, and it would have been a lot more than that. So I'm gonna not fumble that when I have a cushion. I've got a cushion, unless something really calamitous happens. But I struggle with that. Those are some things I struggle with. Keep going down the list here. SIDU looks consolidating, but not in a bad way. Pulled back to the 21-day or 20-day, whatever that is. Doesn't matter. Lockheed Martin. Since we're now fighting the world, Lockheed Martin's going to get a lot more of our money. So that chart looks great. Your buy point would have been probably right there. January 2nd again. Dog barking. Carmen. This one's been on a nice run. Cup and handle breakout right there at 81. It's at 108. So really not much to do with it here. Wait for a consolidation. Hopefully a pullback to the 10 or 20-day. These pullbacks to the 20-day can be bought. But we're pretty extended right there. IRDM. Potential inverted head and shoulders, maybe. You got a horizontal at 20. AMPX. This is interesting. Breaking the trend line on Friday. Great volume. Plenty of pocket pivots in the past couple of weeks off of a low. So I don't think this is too bad. I don't know anything about this name. I know nothing about it. Ooh, IPO. Okay, maybe. Look at all this increasing volume activity. So you got from here all the way up with increasing volume. You got there's a cup and handle structure right there, small base, cup structure there. This is just kind of I'm going to go to the weekly on this one actually. Cup and handle. Cup. And nothing. But definitely could come back. That looks good. That looks pretty good. I do not know what AmpX is. Imperius Technologies. Let's do it. You know what? Let's do it. I'm live. I'm here. You're still here. Maybe. I don't know. And then we're going to look at it. I don't even know the symbol I was looking at. AmpX. This is how I find my companies, by the way. I just go to FinViz, type in the company name, and then you can click on the name. It just takes you to the website. Russell Company, 1.4 billion market cap, small, 58 million in sales, almost more, 58 million in sales, almost more than ASTS. It may be more than ASTS. Yeah, it's more than ASTS with a $1 billion market cap. This thing is at 18 million in sales with a $42 billion market cap. This thing is insane. Talk about insanity. Wow. Was that AmpX? I already forgot again. So AmpX is going to go up 8 million%. It's going to go, was it 30? It's going to go up 30-fold. So that puts it at 300. Okay. We'll find an option for 300. What does this thing do? Okay, let's go. Electrical equipment and parts. Performance powered by silicon. Batteries, groundbreaking battery technology, pushes the batteries of innovation. Conventional cells, silicon anode batteries. So they do battery shit, it looks like. So they're doing something. I don't know. I guess just drones. Maybe they're all these wars. I mean, aviation, manned aviation, light electric vehicles, AI and robotics. Yeah, it's part of AI and robotics. Yeah. So whatever Tesla doesn't do, these guys are going to do, I guess, in terms of batteries. Well, they're not the only ones, obviously. Okay. Partnerships, maybe that's... Oh, to partner with them. And give us partnership. Green Energy... KULR, that's one of our stocks. All right, well, some battery story. Maybe I think there's a deeper dive if somebody wants to do that. I don't think I'll do that, but I like the price action. The volume aggregation tool. These buyers and sellers, buyers barely edge out. These ones, buyers edge out. These ones, sellers edge out. So buyers are edging out. AmpX, I mean, I don't have enough information really to... Let's see if IBD has anything on these guys. So these are some of those companies that if you spend the time and do the research, there's a possibility to do very, very well in names such as this. No news. Okay, so they're not widely followed. Oh, they're in the BE. They're in the BE group. Alternative Energy Group. Oh, okay. AmpX is ranked 10th in the group. That's not too bad.
No, but
EPS change. Sales 173%. 3-year sales growth rate 164%. I'm gonna scroll through this, look at some numbers while I eat my other hash brown my wife got me. All right, so not super bad. The question is, what can it do? I don't know why I'm so intrigued by this. I think because it's an IPO. Actually, well, let's look at the price. It's already gone from under $1 to $11. I mean, the thing has already moved. So let me do this. I'm going to pull up. Let me switch my screen on me here. I don't know. Yeah, it switched my screen on me. Damn it. Give me a minute. All right, there we go. I'm going to look at some options because I often find, and these aren't trades that I ever do. I never do these trades. There we go. I never do these trades. I'm going to pull this over here real quick. But these trades can work. So if you have something like an AMP X here, so go out as far as you can go. January 1st, 2028. We're at $11. So you can buy pretty much a $1 call. Well, I guess you'd want to buy more than that. You want to buy like a $10 call for $8. So in 2 years, you think it goes up more than $8? Those are kind of some of the things you have to ask yourself. And you just have to be right. Like if this thing doubles from here, it's really not a great return. Yeah, it's not very that good. It's got to go up to like $100 for that to make any kind of sense. And then you're like 10xing when it 10x's. So yeah, sometimes options really aren't the right vehicle for some things. All right. Let's keep going down. But I do like, I mean, it's a good chart. It's pretty good. I really need to know more about it. I don't like the sector. It's not really a true leader. I probably would just not do anything with it, but I like it. I like the chart. Redwire. Here's one with a lot of incoming volume. And let's see what RDW does. Yeah, look at that volume increase right there. Looks like it's been through aerospace and defense. Oh, yeah. We're fighting the world now, so we're going to get a lot of that. One force every front. Global defense tech disruptor specializing in multi-domain solutions. What we do. What do you do? Integrate mission enabler, explore, live, work in space for the benefit of humanity. Developing capabilities that are critical for people to live and work in space. Solar arrays, digital engineering and modeling solutions. So early stage growth phase, burgeoning industry, very speculative. Very, very speculative. But the price action is promising. I really do like the volume. That's tremendous. Go from $5. So we've doubled. We haven't gone up like 11-fold. We haven't done this, but we're coming back. Yeah, it hasn't really had a major IPO run yet. All right, GE Aerospace. This has been on a tear. $50 up to 323 over the past several years. All right, let's move on to AI makers. SanDisk. The trade that got away from me because I was lazy and also made poor choices. Lazy and poor choices leads to not good things. Micron, beautiful. Pull back to the 10-day, bounced off the 10-day, and then look at Friday. Look at Friday. Man, I really didn't have a major trade planned on this one. I did actually, no, I did have it. I had it here. I had it down there. Missed that base breakout. What a good move. Sometimes you just got to believe the chart, believe the trend, and just go with it. But we're all just people. Western Digital, still on trend, still doing pretty good. Seagate, similar situation, still on trend, still doing good. Bloom Energy, we had this as a turnaround trade from here on that weekend. So 2 weekends ago, we talked about Bloom Energy and the rebound back. And I forget what the percentage was on that trade. That was like a 200, 300% trade. That would have worked. Holy hell would that have worked. I didn't take it, but it would have worked. And look at this chart. So you go all the way down from 16 up to 140. Basically 10x Oh, that's the same April low. Wow. Nobody ever would have bought that. But you got a breakout here. It's potentially viable from 30 up to 145. And now you get a very tight consolidation, a base. I guess 50% isn't very deep when you're running so much. So let's go. Yeah, you spike under the 25% for the pullback. That is good. That is good. And now we're gone again. We're going again. I love Bloom Energy. I've been following them since before their IPO. What? Did they go private and then re-IPO? No way. They came out in 2018? This is what chat's good for. Wow, I thought they went. Well, I guess I am old, and that was 8 years ago. Huh. I really thought they went public in like 2008 or something. No. Yeah, no, I guess maybe that's about right. Okay. Whatever. Anyway, all-time high for Bloom Energy. Look at the volume. Look at the volume on this name. Screw all these earnings bubbles, but look at the little spikes. Just do it. This thing just does nothing. And then, oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Kind of, beautiful. 31. There you go. I was caught unaware. I don't have a research team. I love Bloom Energy though. Love it. Yeah. Is this buyable? Let me look. Look at BE. Let's look for. So maybe they'll double. I mean, they just went from 30 to 140, so that's for like 600%. So maybe they double from here. Maybe they go to 300. So we'll go 90 days to go to 300. Let's see. That's April 17th. 150 is $34, so that should be $150. So 300 minus 150 minus 34 divided by 34 is 300%. Not bad. 341% to be precise. Not too bad. We'll see how it does on Monday. That's giving it 90 days to double. And it could do it faster than that. I mean, when did this double on this breakout? It's 35 days. $48 days. That's right in my window. So we have a 62 day. So if you go 62 days at 150, that's 28. 300 minus 150 minus 28 divided by 28 is 435%. If they can get the job done. And that's 62 days. I'm pretty sure we can. There's another one. There's a 41 day if you want to get super aggressive. If you want to get super, well, that's only $22. That's a little better. So that's 300 minus 150 minus 2285. What? I thought I was doing stuff. 300 minus 150 minus 2285 divided by 2285. 556%. I'd take more time on that one. If I were to do that, I would just do more time. But yeah, that's a possibility right there. Imagine about that down here. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Bloom Energy. Love Bloom Energy. This is such a cool company. AVGO is part of Soxel. Not rolling over is good. Qualcomm also, I think, is part of Soxel. Rolling over is not good, but it is what it is. And then what else do we have down here? USAR, Bros. Anyone still watching? I'm gonna go check stats real quick. Yeah, no, 11. You guys still, some of you still watching. Actually, watching or listening? I can't imagine I'm very entertaining right now. What else? What else you got? English? Aram? You guys got anything you need me to look at? Other than just go buying socks so then go to the beach and just be multimillionaires in like 3 years? I want to look at IBD. I do want to look at their. Let's take a quick look at their IBD 50. Gold is looking good. I don't have a gold trade on. Call the top of XRP. You know the funny thing about XRP? The last time XRP topped, I did call it, and I was talking with the guy that's designing the cabinets for my house. And I think I looked this up. I think I talked to him on this day right here. So, like right up here before it actually topped. I said, we're not done going up yet, but there's a good possibility that it kind of double tops with the prior high and rolls over. And yeah, kind of did exactly that. So kind of funny on that one. But yeah, sometimes things are decently predictable. Option trade on gold? Okay. Let me go through IBD real quick. And then if I forget, remind me of the option trade on gold. How fintech newcomer rose 190% in 4 months. FIGR. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I did see that. I don't think that's on my list at all. Yeah, I missed this IP. I missed this one. I saw this like late. Should have bought the pullback to the 10-day. I got to have a strategy around that, around buying these pullbacks to the 10-day. I got to have a strategy around that because you break out, you pull back to the 10-day, boom. Frickin' every time. Well, that it happens. Well, I won't say every time, but yeah, look at this thing. Just beautiful. I catch them late. This is why I need Da Vinci. Or I just need to be more professional in what I do. Probably just be more professional. But I still need Da Vinci. I don't even know what this... Let's... FIGR. Financial capital markets. Oh, God. I don't know if this is good or bad. Yeah, I kind of stopped doing it. I kind of... So, when I'm at my best, I just do it. When I'm at my best, Aram, I just do charts and I just do it. But I'm not my best right now. And so I've been trying to do better. And getting back to IBD is like going back to AA for me a little bit. Hey, boys. Hey, boys. Interesting. Crypto-backed loans. Huh. So I guess maybe they're really revamping the mortgage industry. What's their market cap? 15 billion market cap? Jeez. Well, this is already gone. Yeah, this one's gone. Okay. Yeah, let's go on the list. They always have good stuff. I mean, IBD's amazing. Here's IPO leaders, which is where I saw this here about a week after it was here, and then it popped up, and it was already too far gone. I looked at this one, CDNL. IPOs are great. So here's an IPO base. No idea what this company even is. Engineering and construction, and they have no data and no website name. Provide infrastructure service to residential, commercial, industrial, municipal, state infrastructure market. Yeah, there's so much here to go through, guys. We can spend hours here. AEM, Alamos Gold, Comfort Systems, still rocking it. Cup and Handle. I won't get too caught up in Cup and Handle. KGC looks like it says entry of a narrow cup. Oh, it's profit zone. There's your narrow cup, so it's already in the profit zone. These are all weekly charts. Extended from cup base. Extended from double bottom entry on Taiwan Semiconductor holds 10-week consolidation, past 5% buy zone. Deutsche Bank, is that a base on base? Cup and Handle with a flat base. Not a huge fan. Yeah, what's the thing? Is Powell gonna maintain the, or is he actually retiring now? I kicked him out. So this is kind of funny with IBD. IBD ETF strategy versus the market. So its ETF strategy underperformed the Nasdaq by 447%, in line with the S&P, and got destroyed by the Nasdaq. I find that funny. Gutter protection. IBD 50. Here we go. Micron number 1. Consolidating around 10 left. CLS, that could be actionable in the future. So all I'm doing is I'm reading these descriptions underneath the charts. And I want to find something that isn't extended. Here's one. CDE, cup base shows a 23.62 buy point. That's nice. There you go. 6 to 20. Oh, there you go. Increasing volume. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. So last time we had a base, it ran 70 days for 130%. 70 days. So you got to give us a little bit more time than we typically would. So let's take a look at that. You know what? Hold. I gotta write this shit down. Otherwise I'll forget it. Give me a minute, guys. Actually, no, I gotta use the restroom again. It's 10:53 now. I've been here 2 hours. I'm gonna refill my water, use the restroom again, get something to write with, and then we're gonna go through these. Give me a couple minutes. You guys use the bathroom too. Okay, I'm back. Oh, I didn't get anything to write with. Damn it. Hold on a sec. I'm just going to grab this and find a pen. Okay. Now look at the volume at the end of CDE on the left side of the screen there. Wow. That's impressive. That's really impressive. Let me look at the CDE. Cut base shows 2362 buy point. There's no handle. Doesn't appear that there's a handle on this name. A minus accumulation distribution, 2100% prior quarter. Holy crap. Wow, this looks good. Engage in the exploration and development of silver and gold mines in U.S., Mexico, and South America. All right, well, we have BE up, so let's go to BE. Let me go back to BE. Mining stocks. That's BTC mining stocks. That's not actual mining stocks. That's funny, the verbiage of that. So let's go back. And so, okay, so BE, then we're going to do CDE. So I'm going to go back to BE, and we are going to look at that chart. And we said this could go to 300. So BE target is going to be 300. And go to March 20th. Let me do this real quick. I gotta do work now, so I need more screen space. Not like my old setup where I had 4 screens. I only have 2 screens. So I need to go to my options one. Where's my options pricing? No. Options pricing engine? No. Oh, options calculator. Here we go. So do BE to 295. So this is, for March 30th. March 20th. And is that right? I don't know. 600%. That doesn't seem right. 295 target. Is that right? Were we going to 300? We were doubling this, right? So we were going to 300 from 150. Jesus. Is that right? Up to 776% at the 210. Is that right? Jesus. I don't know. Somehow that is confusing to me. We do have earnings coming up. Imagine holding that bitch through earnings, February 5th. Eek. Especially with a full position size. Gee, seriously? That seems like a lot of percentage. So 200 is... Okay, well, where are we at? Right now we're at 150. So the 150 call is 454%. If you go to 500%, you're looking at the 165 call. I mean, you can do the 150. 454% is fine. If it fails, you're not that dead. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple different strikes. I'm going to write down the 150 for 450%. And then we're going to write down, let's go, if you want to go aggressive, you've got the 180 for 627%. And I don't think there's need to get more aggressive than that. But if you want to, the 210 is 776%. That's if it gets to 300, which I round down to 295. Okay, so that is Bloom Energy. Is that right? Let me double check. I'm going to double check one of those. It doesn't seem right to me. So 300 minus, what was that, 150? 150 equals 150 divided by 2615. No, that's not right. Oh, I guess it is. It's about right. It'll end up being right. 300 minus 150 equals that minus 2615 divided by 2615 is 473%. So yeah, it's right in that ballpark. All right, go Bloom Energy. Yeah, that's March 20th, which provides, I think, 60 days, 62 days. Which provides 62 days. So that is a potential. Now it does have earnings coming up, so obviously that's going to be a little bit of a problem. But I mean, I don't know. It looks great. I like this chart a lot. Look at all these pocket pivots. Ever since that wasn't a pocket pivot, I guess, but somehow that was okay. And I mean, it looks like it's broken out. Does isn't Bloom Energy in here too? I'm just searching right now because it's hard to. They're not on one of the IBD lists though.
Yeah, that's plenty.
Which isn't everything.
No.
All right, so now we're back to the IBD 50. Okay, so it's not in here. So we got that. We have CDE. So let's go to CDE, which also looks phenomenal. This looks phenomenal. Is that better or is Bloom Energy better? With gold and minor, gold and silver and everything, I think this thing is monster. Okay, so let's go to, well, where's our target? So this last thing rallied 100% over 66 days. If we were to take a 20% clip, that would have done pretty good. So this actually has not broken out yet. You have to keep that in mind. It hasn't broken out, but what a good look. Yeah, see, this got eaten up by the morning shakeout. That would have been a good buy right there, though. Okay, so the question is, do we go up 20% or do we go up more? Let's see. 20 gets us to 27. Well, and we'll go the traditional 40-something days, which end up being 39. So the 23 is 250, so that's not possible. So on CDE and B, do you think we will sell off a bit as we're currently hitting prior highs, then go higher? I don't know. That's the gamble we all take, my friend. That's just the gamble we all. So you are right now. You are on the edge that everyone wants to master. And that is the question that everyone asks. So we go to BE. Well, we'll stay here. So CDE hasn't broken out, okay? Hasn't broken out, which means it could still stall, before the breakout, which is ideal. It could also rally because it's a gold and silver stock, and gold and silver are in the midst of a massive, massive rally. So it could just keep going. And then if you look at SanDisk, SanDisk is one of the last ones that had a similar pattern, and you know, where do you consider us in that pattern? Here, right? So lately things haven't been pulling back, okay? And if it does pull back, I mean, people talk about entering on a pullback. Who cares? Just get in. You know what I mean? Now, it depends how it pulls back and all that kind of stuff, but you look at SanDisk, you look at these names that just go, and, you know, that's the risk you take as a trader. I don't have an answer for you. I'm just going to be honest. There's zero answer for you here. The question is, are you comfortable with anything enough to make a trade? That's really all there is. And then if it pull, I mean, if you're just trading stocks, I don't really care. It's not that volatile. I trade options though with these, where it's extremely volatile, and so I will enter and exit several times if it doesn't work out. I just will. Because I don't want to hold through a 20-30% pullback in my option price. I really do not enjoy that whatsoever. Now getting to Bloom Energy. Bloom Energy here is broken. Technically, it's already in the buy area. Volume's a little bit light, which could be a negative. Versus this volume here was pretty heavy. So nothing's guaranteed to work. The chart looks good. The options profits look good given the targets that we're deriving, but it doesn't necessitate that happening. Like I had a gold trade that it facilitated. What was it, like a 2,000% gain? Didn't work out. Right? It just didn't work out. It could have worked out, but it didn't work out. So there's no part of it is looking at enough charts and identifying when something's even worth spending this much time on. And just because we're spending this much time on doesn't mean it's going to work. But by limiting your watch list to a very few high quality select names, you have a better odds of being successful. So that's basically about it. No, it's not a double bottom. This low is above this low, if I'm not mistaken. Low is 76, low of this is 75, 70. Oh, it is. Oh, very slight double bottom by 30 cents. Well, in that case, your breakout was here, and we missed it. How did I miss that? Jesus Christ. Started up 23%. Well, shoot. Is it a double bottom? I guess it's a double bottom. Do they have it as a double bottom? No, they don't have it. Right? They don't have Bloom Energy? Yeah, they didn't have it. Ah, shoot. I hate it when I miss little details like that. Well, why'd you sell at 100? Oh, sold on Thursday in case we pulled back. Yeah, don't do that. Don't. You just limit the shit out of yourself. Because what's going to happen is now it's not going to pull back. So you had a cushion, and now it's gone. I'd rather you just jump back in. If that were me, we'll see on Monday. I don't want you to jump first thing Monday without zero context. But yeah, that's not wise to me. If you're up like that, stay in. You just stay in it. You're already in it. You know what I mean? And who cares if it pulls back a little bit? I mean, the move up was monster, absolute monstrous. Just nothing but buying pressure here. So there's zero need to exit. You exit. So let's go back to here. Say I would have saw it here if I was smart, and it rallies up. You can sell some there if you want to. You can buy it back. And then now it's just kind of chopping around. That's kind of a scary day. But, it's earnings. Yeah, earnings are always tough. Earnings are tough. You know, if you sold up here on the pullback, I wouldn't be too mad at that. And then it gets choppy, and then we start basing again. Once things get choppy, I don't like to be involved. I don't want to be involved in all these gaps. I'd rather miss this leg, to be honest with you, than be involved, because it's not guaranteed to continue. But in this circumstance, we just broke out. You're right at the breakout verge. So, I mean, I'm glad you're happy with the 40%. I'm glad you got 40%, but I don't know. I would not have done that. I wish I would have bought my option. I'd still be holding the dang thing. I'm like, man, this thing is not moving. Because you go intraday on this thing. You got one scary moment here. They try to shake you out here. If you survive that, then why even bother selling? You know? So, yeah, we're getting there. We were on what, CDE? Yeah, let's go back to CDE. So, this one's interesting. Yeah, the question, so... It's a nice cup. It's a little deep. 42%. This lot was 120 something percent, 130%. So if we give it, so the problem with something like this is this target. So for 41 days, it's just nonsensical for it to run 20%. It just doesn't make any sense. So that'd be $26. For a $23 option, is $2.50. You're making like freaking less than 20%. So that's a non-starter. So then you have to go out further, and I would probably just go to that March 20 again. And I guess you plan on it to double again. I guess. I don't know. It's almost a non-starter for me in that regard. It's almost like the options are already too expensive, and I'm just not a super huge fan. So we got what, 22.63. So to go to 44, the 22 is $3, so that should be $22. All right, let me run it through the algo again. And see what we get for CDE. So target is 44, March 20th. $62 days. And let me see. Depending how far out you want to go, keep in mind the target's 44. I'll pull this up. It's just such a wide variety. So here's the strike price. Here's the profit. It's interesting. I've never seen one go from 89% to 1100%. It's just a lot. So you got 30. I mean, you're doing amazing at 30. You're doing amazing here at 22 and a half at 571. You want some, you want a little bit more edge, you can go to 25 for 726. I don't know if there's a need to go here. I don't think you need to go to 1,000% profit. I don't know if it's necessary. So I would say, where are we at right now? We're at 22 and a half. 25. Let's do 25 for 726. And that's for it to double to 44. Now, if it doesn't get, let's do that same thing. Let's say it only gets to 30. So for a 30 target, let's see, and that's significantly lower. 22 and a half is 131%. 25 is 117%. So it's even still, Now, my price threshold is typically 150%. So 117 isn't really that close to that. It's not that far away. Yeah, that's on March 20th. So that's if it gets to, what was my target? 30. That's if it gets to 30. Which, I mean, which is not bad. So you're, depending how aggressive it gets, and that's giving it 62 days. And so maybe make between 100 and 700%, somewhere in there on something like something like that on something like this. All right, let's keep going through the paper. So Gold Fields in a buy zone. Okay. Applied Digital passed the buy zone. Starts building right side of a base in the buy zone. I don't like that one. Oh yeah, saw your comment there about selling aggressively. Yeah, okay. I'm not mad at that. Let me expand on that for you though, because there is an important distinction. I didn't make it well before, but your comment kind of brings it back up. When you sell aggressively, okay, I want you to sell aggressively I want you to sell aggressively up here, not before it breaks out. I don't want you to sell aggressively here, and you don't sell aggressively on a what if it pulls back. You sell aggressively when it pulls back, and that's a very distinct difference, because you're just guessing. You're like, oh, I'm at 40%. That's too much, too fast, right? That's what you're thinking, and then what you do is you make a snap decision, and then it costs you additional profit when there was no rationale, no real reason to sell. You know what I'm saying? So you need the actual reason to sell. You don't want to arbitrarily sell something. I mean, if 40% is a massive profit to you and it's just like too much money, okay, sell. I don't have any major issue with that. But if you're okay with selling at 40, but you're like wanting for more and you want to buy the pullback, don't do that. Absolutely do not do that. Unless you've built a strategy around it. Like if you built a strategy around doing that, which I kind of loosely have, it's not formulated yet, but I've thought about that. Then you can start to play around with that idea. But just get used to being in the run, because it's a weird feeling. It doesn't feel like anything you've ever felt before. It really doesn't. We're so used to getting our asses kicked and losing money that when you're finally making really, really good money, it's just a weird feeling. I'd like you to practice being in that weird feeling than feeling safe in cash. Okay, because you can't make the money if you're not willing to invest it. So, but when you're up, no, I don't think so. Not if it's not failing. I think 25 is the target of ROM. 25. I think 25 is the good one. I don't want to do 30. Because if it gets to 30, you're not going to have that much. If it gets to 44, you don't have that much more than 726%. It's like 1,000%, but I mean, I guess it's 50% more. It's not that much more. Yeah, no, definitely not. Well, I'm a breakout trader, digital, so I'm a breakout trader. So I would, I want it to break out. I don't want to limit myself. Why would I do that? We just talked about Bloom Energy as a target of 300. Why am I selling it all at 150? What's it going to pull back to 130? So you're going to risk a $150 profit for a $30 pullback buy? It's just it's small. You're stepping over dollars to get pennies. I've got it as 230. So yeah, something like that. Oh wait, hold on a second. That's CDE, not BE. CDE March 20 is 230. Yeah, it's 230. Yeah, so but get comfortable with the run up. Definitely okay, if your thesis to buy this was to sell here, I guess you're fine. I'm not going to be too if that was your thesis. And actually, when I talked about that, I did say it was for a pullback to the all-time high. So I guess I should get off my high horse a little bit on that one. But technically, there was no reason to sell. If things are doing, especially because you sold on like you held through Wednesday. So don't sell on Thursday. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. And it could still pull back money, and I could sound like a complete idiot, which is fully possible. Hope it doesn't happen, but I think that with no reason to sell, don't sell. It's fairly straightforward, at least in that regard. All right, let's go back to the IBD thing. Cut base with Sterling Infrastructure, STRL. I don't know if I care too much for infrastructure plays. Rambus retakes 10-week line. Let's look at Rambus. Okay. Not too bad. 3 pocket pivots? 1 pocket pivot. How come that's not a pocket pivot? Should be 2 pocket pivots here. I'm not the biggest fan of this. 115. So 138 target. Let me look. Yeah, you can get a double out of it. Yeah, even 1690, 138. Yeah, triple out of it. That's not too bad. Rambus isn't too bad. And that's over 62 days. All right, let me put this in the fancy text machine. I already forgot my target. Damn it. What was my target? 138. I'm not the biggest fan of this chart. It's not that bad. It's also not that good. It has the biggest gain at 138%, so I guess I miss 138 minus 110 minus 1170 divided by 11. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I did the math wrong in my head. It's not a great candidate. I don't like it's okay. It's not super structured. That's not so bad. I don't like this. So, all right, it's a no-go for me. Wow, it has Riot blockchain on here. That's interesting. Yeah. Do you want to look at Riot? I don't know, man. We saw it earlier. I wasn't really like enthused about it. It's building the right side of a base, I guess. I don't like this. I don't want it. I don't like any of this. I think that one of the biggest things I've done, Aram, and this is worth spending 2.5 hours on this stream just for what I'm going to tell you right now. There's a difference between this chart and this chart. These prior trends, I think, matter substantially. Substantially. They matter. I think they can matter as much as the industry that you're in. So by the time you get to Riot, yeah, it's forming a cut base, but what about this? Like I just don't want it. Yeah, I just don't want it. It may work. It may go. It may do amazingly well, but you won't find me in it. I want to be in SanDisk. I want to be in Micron. I mean, look at this cup and handle. Look at this fucking thing. I want to be in that. So you could argue and say, yeah, Randy, this is the same thing. I would say, well, yes and no. I said it matters as much as the sector. This sector is hugely in vogue. This run up here is a double Whereas the run up in Riot, I don't even think. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it's making me look like a fool over here, I guess. I don't know. It's too choppy. I don't. I'd much rather be in that than in that. I guess they do look pretty similar. The chart pattern's much better. Yeah, I kind of walked over myself there, didn't I? And I like that. I like that. I like that happened. Because when you do something like that, when you disprove yourself in the moment, but you still know you're right. Like, I still know I'm right. I still want Micron over Riot Blockchain. No question. Now, Bitcoin breaks out, Riot probably is going to go, right? So maybe I'm wrong and Riot is still a good trade. Maybe, okay. So I'm either wrong that Micron's better than Riot, or I'm wrong that Riot's not a good trade. I think those are the options. Is there another option? I think that's it. See, I don't mind looking stupid, right? I don't mind looking, like, if I look stupid right now, that's fine with me. I just want to get it right. Yeah, they do look eerily kind of similar. This is more choppy, a lot more undulations, which I definitely do not appreciate. That's the main thing I don't appreciate, I think, about the differences between the two. Because, yeah, this run-up was better. Yeah, undoubtedly. This pullback seems deep. And that's only 21%. So there's some differences. The run-up wasn't as much. The decline wasn't as much. This was handled much better. This chart is just beautiful. I mean, if Riot forms this handle here, my tune will change. So maybe that's it. Maybe Riot is here, right? Maybe Riot is here, and I'm comparing it to a full-blown cup and this is a full-blown cup and handle right there. Full-blown cup and handle. I bought the shit out of that too. I didn't buy the subsequent breakout there though. Mistake. Just too scared. I'm too scared. I'm scared right now. I'm scared to put capital at risk in any kind of options trade. All I have is AGQ and Soxel. That's all I've got. Oh, you know what I did want to check out? Hey, Aram, a month or two ago, did we look at a 2-year Soxel's trade that was an option trade that sucked? Didn't we look at something like that? Where I backtested a Soxel option with a 2-year time horizon. It was like break even with just owning Soxel. So I thought about going back to Soxel and testing a 2-year option back from last April, you know, speaking about my high horse. No? I somehow thought I did that. So, okay. So to get back, Soxel get back to all-time highs. Let me just do this real quick because I have this thought. I thought I did it. This will take just a few minutes. So let's just say this day, April 30th, 2025. 0430. Okay, so then I want to go out 2 years to go to the high, which is like $67. So let me figure that part out. Okay, so that would be what, 700%? No, that wouldn't be because it was here. So I thought about it in these moments because, okay, 406%. Oh, this would have blown that out the water. Jesus. And, oh, no, maybe it wouldn't have. What are we at? We're at 60 right now. So that's, that'd be January 27, January 15th, 2027. And I'm going to pick a couple different strike prices. I'm just doing this off screen. I'm trying to do it decently quick for everybody. So we'll do one which is 11. for 560. And then we'll do one at 30 at 199. And what was our target? Our target was 67. Our target's 67. And then we'll go to 40? 50? We'll do both. We'll do 40. We'll do 50. And we'll do 60. So 40, I'm doing this off screen, guys, sorry. 40 is 140. 50 is 110. I'm just doing the ask. I don't even care about the spread. And 55 is the furthest one out. So we'll go 55, and that's 0.99. So I'm just going to go to today's option for Soxhole, and I'm going to go out to January 27. That $11 option, which we bought for 560, would have been 52.50. Well, there's a big spread on it. It's 48 to 52. I'll just call it $50. So that right there is better than 400%. That's pretty good. 30 would have been 30 right now is at 37. Wow, that's really good. 40 is 31. Wow, these are amazing. 50 is 20. Wow, that's a widespread. 24 to 28. The prior one was 31 to 32. This one's 24 to 28. So we'll just call it 27. No, we'll call it 26. Call it 25. That's almost a 25x right there. Holy crap. And then 55 is 20. Let's call it $24. That's a 24x. Holy crap. Wow. Okay. This is crazy. Of course, it's only been a year, so. Okay, so this is not at all what I remember. Let me throw this on a spreadsheet for you guys real quick. Okay, so I have 11, 30, 40, 50, 55. These are the strikes. The buy. And then the current price, and then the percentage gain. So the buy for this one was 5.6. It's currently at 50. Is that right? Let me double check with the calculator. So let me do 5.6 times 8.92. Yeah, that's right. All right. And then the other one was 1.99, 1.4, 1.1, 0.99. And then 30 would have been 37, 31, 25, 24. This is stupid. Holy crap. Holy bejesus, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh, nothing. A 2,400% gain in the past year for doing something, stock trading. What your dad does.
2,400?
Yeah. Percent.
In the past
20
year?
400%.
In a year?
Yeah.
I thought you said they only made like 2 times, not 24 times.
No, I didn't make 24 times. This is a hypothetical trade that we could have potentially put on if we had the mind. See, I do these things. This is my son, James. James, say hi to everyone.
Hello.
This is James. I do these hypotheticals because next time something happens, I can revert to this and say, well, last time it worked out. Let's see the possibility. So if something's going to go up 2,400%, maybe I can put like a 10% of the account in it, and then my account goes up 10x just off of that. His eyes are wide and burgeoning, and he's thinking about possibilities.
Dad,
That means like
That
a lot.
really could have been so this whole morning I spent a half an hour yelling at these people to stop trading is buy the Soxel. And this is Soxel with options going out 2 years. And so Soxel went up about 400%, and but if you bought the option with the 55 strike price going out 2 years, it'd be right now it'd be 2,400%, and there's still a year on the option.
Oh, so.
There's still a
So
year.
you got 3,000.
Yeah.
3,000.
Yeah, it could be 3,000. It could be 4,000%.
I bought a Soxel not too long ago.
You did buy Soxel, James. Good job.
And it lost me $20. How dare you?
What?
It lost me $20.
How did it lose you?
How dare
Didn't lose, I told you to buy Soxel.
I did. And it lost me $20.
How did it lose you $20?
It was down $20.
Oh, get out of here. I'm done with you. Wow, Aram. What do you think about that, Aram? Or anybody else? Holy crap. So, something I said to James there. The reason I do stuff like this, I don't know how you guys, I don't know what you guys think about me. I don't know. We're exploring. We are exploring our domain of the equities markets. This is what we do. We do this. We do stuff like this. Look at this. We do stuff like this. So one day we can get half of this. And I'm right. There's still a year, 363 days left on this option that you'd be up 2,400% if we would have bought the option. And Soxel doesn't look like it's done going up. Randy, shut up with Soxel already. But you understand what I'm saying? You understand? So you put 10,000 in that. You know, maybe you've got 50 grand or something, right? You take 10% of the account, you buy that option at the bottom. Say you got 5 grand to buy the option, and then it goes up 2,400%. You've doubled your account with a 10% risk on a 2-year option on a leveraged ETF. The leading leverage. Oh my gosh. Oh my. I can't even. 2,400%. Now, what if you were really stupid and did the full 50,000? Just add a 0 to that. You're at 1.2 million. By understanding. See this, guys. This is the funny thing to me. How are money managers in business if they're not talking about any of these strategies? How are you considering yourself a professional money manager? You're a fucking clown. You are a clown if you call yourself a professional money manager and all you do is shove them in a mutual fund. And all you do is shove them in an ETF. You're a clown. You're an actual clown. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Okay, so next time the market dips like that, what's the plan, ladies and gentlemen? Say it with me. Buy a 2-year call on Soxel with 10% of your account for the farthest out strike price you can find. Or something like that, you know? Or something like that. You know, these things will happen again. Soxel's dipped 1, 2, 3, 4 times in the past 6 years, 8 years. Yeah, on this dip, what do? And buy a 2-year call option to go back to the peak. What would that have been? Let's look at that one. But this one's kind of benign, right? Like you go up, it's 2015, you pull back a little bit. Maybe you buy, you know, let's say you get super unlucky. What day is that? August 21st, 2015. Let me look at that one. Wow. It actually has it? Jeez. Okay, it only has it at 186 days though. Eee. Oh no, that's tough. I don't know if I do that. 180. Well, let's just take the 20. Oh, it's split. Never mind. This is going to be impossible. This is going to be impossible, so never mind, folks. So it's split there. Well, you know, we'll just go to February. Yeah, that wouldn't have worked out so well. But we could have sold up there. Anyway. All right, we got to take the market. One leg at a time while keeping the market cycle in mind, right? All right, guys, I probably should end it at some point. The point is buy Soxel Leap options. That's the point. That's the whole point. So, you know, I did have my last option on Soxel. And I screwed this up too. I sold this on Friday, so I could probably rebuy. Let's see what I sold. Yeah, let me look at my trades here. Yeah, see, I'm doing too much. Soxel. Okay. I bought a May 15th. For 52 strike. For 1770. That's what I sold it at. Yeah, I made some money. Okay. Let me go back to right now. May 15th. And I think I had this for this to double by May 15th. So my target was $100. Yeah, there we go. So May 15th, I had the 52. And my target was $100, which right now it's 1970 ask and 1565 bid. So you probably get it for $18 if you're patient. And who knows if we're going to be patient. So that would be that's a 400% for this to double. For Soxel double, it'd be about a 400%, and it's an in the money call. So it's not like you're really adding a lot of inherent risk. So I mean, if it rallies 50%, you're going to do better than Soxel would natively. So you're already getting 3 times ETF out of the 3 times ETF. Then using options to squeeze a 3 times ETF for 3 times further. So that was the play. That was my play. Now let me run this by the options calculator again at this point. Oh, my target was 106. So, yeah, see, it's multiple hundreds of percent. Oh, 200%? No way. It's only 200%? So it's 106 minus 80 minus 725 divided by 725. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. All right, so yeah, I guess it's only 200. So the 80 strike would be 252. I don't know where I got my numbers from. My numbers was wrong. Good thing I do everything multiple times. That doesn't seem right to me. 52 strike. Let me do this manually. 106 minus 52 minus 19.7 divided by 19.7. Oh, 174%. Yeah. Soxel trade for 45 days? I think that's risky. I don't know. See, here's the thing, Aram. My 45 to 50 day thing is modeled around stocks in breakout. Soxel is an ETF. It doesn't trade the same. I believe its time horizon needs to be longer. And that's kind of what it is, I guess. And this thing only went up 70%, so it's not like, it's not like it was really, rocking and rolling. So I don't think that's, I don't think that's wise. I'd rather give it a little more time. See, when I'm in my wheelhouse of my, my really good options trades, like SanDisk, the last one that I missed, I think it definitely pays to use the general strategy. This would have worked out gangbusters. If I would have bought that on the open or near the open on this day, I mean, how much would I be up right now? How many hundreds of percent? 62% in 14 days, and my options 45 days. Come on now. But this isn't that circumstance. This is an ETF. So it's going to be dragged down by certain names, propped up by certain names, and they're, hopefully you get a net positive. That's kind of what you hope. So I do think it requires, you're welcome to do whatever you want to do. And I obviously don't know everything, but I think Soxel's good. I think Soxel's going to continue moving. And if it goes up 30, 40%, you can, take that $52 call at 1970, and maybe it doesn't quite get to my target, but maybe it goes up 20 more bucks. And then you double that from this only moving from 60 to 80. Right? Oh, yeah. If you buy something for 1970, it only has to go up 1970 for you to double your money. So from that perspective, I think there's quite a few things to do that'll make you money. I don't think there's a need to be super greedy and try to make millions of percent. But I do think, though, that it's important to live in this realm of taking smaller losses and getting doubles. All in all, from a trading perspective, I think that's probably the most important thing that I do. Really, seriously, is I got out of the thinking of 20, 30% and got in the thinking of 100 to 200 to 300%, right? That's because if I live in that domain, I will eventually conquer that domain. If I live in the 20, 30% domain, I will conquer the 20, 30% domain. So I think a big part of this is living in this domain where all I'm looking at is trades for hundreds of percent, and eventually I'm going to get a couple right. And if I have my losses down, 10, 20, maybe 30%, hopefully most, then I'll be great. So see what else IBD has to offer. I got to go. And of course, I know I'm going to be missing something. I just don't know what. How to Find and Own America's Greatest Opportunities by William O'Neill. Holds above price support as market makes new lows. We talk about that often. 9 weeks up in a row. Buy. Bounces off 10-week line twice, then breaks out a large cup and handle, 145. 10 weeks up in a row. Add. 3 weeks tight close. Add. Small cup breakout. Flash crash. Now see, William O'Neill holds through this shit. Flash crash closes in upper half of week's price spread and around the moving average line. So he's viewing that as a positive. Then he added. See, William O'Neill was just a freaking dog, dude. You can't do this with options. Add here on the breakout. That looks like a double bottom breakout. I'm not sure why they don't call that. Bounce off the 10-week. That is an add point they discuss. Add on a trend line break. Add on a cup and handle break. And why doesn't he show the sell? Follow through day, follow through day, follow through day. Earnings growth decelerates. High double, high double, high double, high double, high double, triple, high double, mid double, triple, and then lower, lower. So earnings growth starts to chill out there. IBD is worth it just for this paper, guys. All right, anything else we got here? Stock Spotlight. Let's see. Xometry provide online manufacturing that enabled the custom parts to be sold via Xometry. Let's look at that one. XMTR. Not for me. I don't. Lack of a big run up. I don't enjoy it. What's this? An NPKI, Temporary Worksite Access Solutions Company, sells recyclable, composite matting products. I don't. Okay, I'll look at the chart. NPKI, but not really like a leading sector I'm really into. No, it's just not enough there. It's not in like a cycle. It could be a one name story. Breakout from base. Breakout from base approaching entry. What does that mean? SEI. This one's okay. I don't like this big dip. Not a big fan. I'm much more selective than I used to be. Much, much, much more. OR. Canada-based company emerges in the business of acquiring and managing royalty assets in the gold sector. OR? The hell is that? That's pretty. That's kind of pretty. Oh, wow. Look at that. There's a cup and handle. Already broke out, though. No? Not a handle? What do they have it? Just below cup base. Yeah, they don't have that as a handle. Yeah, I guess it is kind of questionable. This one's interesting. Look at that accumulation. That's a nice leg up. Come on. Randy can't use the keyboard. So that doubled. So, okay, so let's do 42.35. So 50 is the target. I'll write this one down. OR 50 is the target. Big round number, not bad. Oh, they got 34 and 62 days, so you kind of don't have much of a choice. You got to go 62. With a 50 target, the 45 with the widest spread in history is $2. The 40 is $3.90, so that alone would be 10. So that would make this about 150%. Man, the spread is crazy on this name. You may have to just not do it because of the spread. It's a lot. Yeah, still going.
I need your help.
What you need?
James needs some supplies, and Lauren can't get it because she's in a business meeting.
Like he needs them this second?
I'll just go get it. Just know that they're not supervised.
Okay, what are they using razor blades or what?
No, they're fine.
Okay.
Just paint.
Okay. All right. The spread is just super. I'll just show it to you guys. I know I'm working off screen here, but I mean, look at this. You got 17 and 1470. It's not too bad. Maybe it'll be better when the market's open, but look at this, 840 to 570. How are you gonna trust that? So I don't know. That's a tough one. With the target, so with a target of 50, it's tight. It's tight. OR royalties. This is pretty nice. Look at this. Look at the big old roundness to it. You know, you just kind of. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Good structure to it. Lots of accumulation. Look at the volume aggregation tool going bonkers since this little cup and handle breakout. You get another. This one's not bad. It may exceed the 20%, in which case it's going to work out fine. So that doubled in 196 days? Oh. Ew. Never mind. All right. Yeah, it looks good. I was on weekly. I'm not a big fan. I can't say it's my trade. Oh, it's interesting though.
Randy, when you can, please supervise.
Okay. All right, guys. I gotta go. I got family stuff. Been going 3 hours now, so pretty much gone with IBD for the most part. There's still a lot of paper left, but TEL if you want to look at that. We didn't get a lot. We got BE. We got CDE. BE March 20, 150 and 180, and then CDE, the March 2025 strike. And that's it. All right, guys, I got to go. Go buy Soxel. Have a good day.